I can cover this, right, without having all my money. Is that the kind of strategy that you used when you were there, or did you?
Yeah. So like I said, if it's $150,001, we would bring a check for $150,001. Then we'd bring another couple checks for like $5,000 each.
Oh, okay.
And then we'd bring another check for $25,000. And what you did is then whenever you reached that bid for the dollar amount, you wanted to give the public trustee as close as you could to your bid without leaving a bunch of money on the table.
Because it takes a while for them to
Right.
reimburse you.
You get the money back, but you have to wait that 21 days or even maybe longer for the public trustee to reimburse you for the extra funds that you've brought in.
So if you came in thinking, hey, the most I'm willing to bid on this is $200,000. I'm going to write a check for $200,000. I give it to the public trustee. They're going to hold your $50,000 or $49,999. $49,999 for 21 days.
Yeah.
That means you can't do anything with it. So we want to get as close to it as possible, right?
Right.
From a strategy perspective, did you go in, because it can be an emotional situation. You're in this room. And it's a bunch of guys. It's me. It's you. It's Dill Day. It's the hedge funds. It's everybody. Like, we're all sitting in there, sometimes bidding together. Sometimes, most of the time, bidding, just individually. Right? Do you help me understand the strategy that you have actually bidding? Because you're not always getting it for $1 over.
No, there's competition in it. And even believe today, I haven't been to an auction in a few years, but even today there's institutions bidding and then there's private people bidding.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's always competition in there. Some houses are unique though. Some houses I was able to get because other people didn't want to touch it. It was too much work. If you walked up to a house and it was fire damaged or maybe it was obvious that it had structural problems. I've been in the business long enough that things like that actually give me an edge because I can actually fix those kind of things.
So foundation problems don't bother you?
No. So I was able to get some of the properties for $1 over, even though there was other competition in the room.
Do you go in there with we're not going? What's your strategy? I don't want to, I'm trying to ask your poker tells right now. Do you go in there saying, here's the amount I'm going and not a penny over, or do you just kind of feel it out, or how much emotion is involved in that? You explain that to me.
There's some emotion in it because, like I said, if you take extra money with you, then that emotion can take over and you can end up going over your desired bid. I have a max. Well, I got tied up into it and it's like, okay, what's another couple grand? So I'm gonna keep pushing this because I have the money to give the public trustee. So yeah, definitely, I've been in that situation.
Have you overbid before?
And I've overbid.
Have you lost money on a foreclosure deal?
No.
You've never lost money on how many foreclosure houses roughly would you say you've bought?
Well, from the period of 2008 all the way to, let's say, 2018, I'd say we bought a couple hundred.
In 08, the sweet time was what? 08 to 2014, 12? Yeah. Because then the hedge funds started coming in. They figured this game out.
When the hedge funds came out, they actually paid closer to retail than wholesale, so they didn't leave any meat on the bone.
And you're having to come with cash. Are you putting a line of credit against your rental property and then pulling that out from a cashier perspective? How are you actually funding these?
Yeah, that's the main way to do it is a line of credit, and or if you just have enough money in the bank account for it. But we were buying several, so we were using a line of credit. And
that you put against your rental portfolio, right? So when you're doing that, you're trying to help me understand. Do you get paid? Do you get charged interest? Like you go get all this money out in a cashier's check in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. You put it back. Let's say you don't win anything. Right. What would you say is the chances when you are going to an auction that you're coming home empty-handed?
In the beginning, it was pretty low odds that you would not come home with something.
Because that's the time.
But right around 08 through, like I said, 2012, you pretty much were able to get
at that time
one of the properties that you were going.
You're shooting fish in a barrel, right? So your success rate is pretty high there. Here recently, not so much.
No, like I said, I haven't been even attending the auctions because back then, let's say there was 30 per week that were going for sale. You would go out and look at 10 of those 30 because they were something that interested you. The other 20, there was something that was not working for you.
Yeah.
So then, out of those 20, you might get one, you might get two.
Okay.
If you're having a good day, you might get I think the most I've ever bought in a day was probably like 4 or 5.
And when you're going and when you're evaluating these houses, because a lot of times you just can't get in.
Right.
They have made it so that you just cannot get in. How do you analyze the rehab on that?
Part of it is you just take the worst case scenario. I mean, if you go in there and say, you've done this long enough that like, you can look at the yard, you can look at the maintenance of the house on the exterior and say, okay, well, if the house is maintained on the exterior, then it's maintained on the interior.
Hey, thanks for watching. I've got a free video about acquiring full-scale real estate businesses. Follow this QR code, click this link, and watch that video now.